Funnel Stop Brasil. Chapter 6. The German consul, Mr. Sturm. For his next visit, Mr. Sturm is bringing the things that had been given to him by the police. My traveling bag, my backpack, and my handbag. And where is my suitcase with my clothes, my shoes, and my jewelry? I don't have anything to wear, only these old things here I've been given by the women in here. So he promises to ask once again at Dinaki about my suitcase. Logically, I'm not allowed to take many of my things into the cage, but I'm pleading to the guards to leave me with my little notebook, giving the excuse that it contains many addresses I need to send letters to. And the guards do permit it. Now I finally have the number of Luciano and can call him. Mr. Sturm advises me that a Mr. Waldmann, a pensioned ex-pastor who does voluntary work for the German consulate, will come along one of these days. He could do some shopping for me, suggests Mr. Sturm, because your parents have sent money now. Angry, I fell into his words. Why do my parents know? I begged you and my daughter not to tell them anything under any circumstance. My father will not survive this. Why? Your daughter has informed your parents immediately after you had been arrested, and we questioned her if she has the possibilities to support you financially. Because she doesn't possess anything, she begged your parents for help. Afterwards, the Department for Social Benefits also contacted your parents, he explains to me. Anyhow, my parents immediately transferred 300 euros. With this, I have in Brazilian currency, for the moment, plenty of money at my disposal, until I receive social benefit from Germany. So I am writing a list with all the things that I need most. Most importantly of all are hygiene products, stamps, envelopes, paper, and pens, because I'm writing like crazy. Apart from this, I need urgently a pair of pliers for my foot nails. For centuries I've suffered from a special mycosis on my nails, and it is not possible to cut my foot nails neither with scissors nor with a nail clipper. At home I use an electric nail grinder to shorten and thin them. I also need some things to eat and drink, but everything in moderation. I already learned in this place that cash is much more useful to me. Finally, we come to talk about a legal representation. Mr. Sturm warns me strongly not to contract a Brazilian lawyer, because they would only take the money and never show their face again. He can recommend a lawyer to me, a lady who speaks German, Spanish, and Portuguese. But she is not very cheap. I tell him that I will think about it. As he shows me the copy of the police report, I'm shocked though. Everything was written and printed by computer in my presence, but now I see that the space for the quantity of the drugs, which had been announced more than once by Fabio with 2 kilograms, was filled by hand. 4.83 kilograms. I am explaining to Mr. Sturm that this is not correct, but either he doesn't believe me or it doesn't interest him. Anyhow, he is not reacting. Back in the cage, I ask Kaiji immediately for a phone call. After about half an hour waiting, because in the meantime many foreign women had arrived and all of them wanted to talk to their families, I can make my call and give Kaiji both numbers of Luciano. Already by the first number she's lucky and hands me the phone. As I hear the voice of Luciano, my tears are running over my face again. Luciano is unusually serious. Nothing is left of his cheerful manner. But he doesn't give me any blame at all for all my lies. On the contrary, he is trying to encourage me and vows to wait for me. As I am talking between my sobs about our plan to go to Argentina during Christmas, and that this now will not happen, he assures me we will still go as soon as I'm free. I give him Clage's number, and he promises to call me. He gives me his complete address so I can write him. Luciano is waking once again so much hope in me. He will wait for me. That is so important to me, almost a straw that keeps me alive. The following phone calls are much less encouraging. Of Chris, I learn that he first contacted my landlady and then met her with Michael in my apartment. She had stated, though, that I was in debt with the rent and therefore kept all of the electronic equipment. Chris was only allowed to take out the wardrobes and personal things like clothes, jewelry, my documents, shoes, photos, CDs, DVDs, and Michael's PlayStation. Once again, I'm shocked about so much wickedness. We are still in August, and the rent for this month is paid. Chris would have only needed to look for the receipts in my paste to prove this, but it seems that it would have been too much bother for him. Besides, before I moved in, I had paid 2 months' rent in advance. Therefore, the earliest she could have claimed debts would have been in November. Since Chris doesn't have a car, he also left the wardrobes back in the apartment and took only the things he and Michael could carry. To my question why he did not ask one of his friends to pick up my things with a car, he suddenly shouts at me, "It is not the business of my friends what happened to you." Shocked about this sudden change of tone, I remind him that some of his friends are also my friends. And as I am speaking with Michael, I can feel clearly that he has been manipulated by Chris. What am I going to do with these wardrobes and the television and all that? All these things can be bought new again. Michael doesn't seem to have any idea that I had been working hard for all these things, and only for him, so he wouldn't be lacking anything. He avoids the answer to my question if he already bade Cande to pick up Max from the kennel. I am sensing that slowly but surely I am losing ground under my feet. But this is just the beginning.